So here I am with my fresh sheet of newsprint, and I'm going to work with a General Soft charcoal pencil sharpened. Now I'm drawing the femur bone here. Comes in at an angle. And you can see I've done my manly pose on the right there, based on the David statue by Michelangelo. Learning how to draw the bones is a great exercise, and I've drawn these bones many times, to the point where I'm actually drawing this from imagination. And when I was young and just starting out, this would have taken me hours and looking at models and correcting the length and checking the size and all that business. So mileage is a great tool for us as artists. It's essential. We need to draw often and lots, and then we can do this with great authority. I'm putting in the fibula bone, which is the outer bone. So the lower leg has two bones. On a horse that's fused, on most animals it is. On us it gives us a second chance to really break our leg. And so it gives us a little bit more stability. And the fibula is the same length as the tibia, but because it's underneath the nose of the tibia, it comes down lower on the outside. So just even knowing that angle, that the ankle is high on the inside and low on the outside, will add more authority to how we draw the legs. The fact that the femur bone goes out at that angle, we actually balance closer in, and the femur gives us more mobility on its angle coming out to the outside. And so I'm drawing this quite quickly, probably about 7 minutes I'll get this bone stuff in. The reason I understand the bones so well and make a point of understanding them so well is because they show on the body so much. Sometimes you get a big massive muscle like the pectoralis, for instance, and that'll cover most of the chest bones, but they'll always pop out on the side and make themselves known on the 10th rib, for instance. What really makes itself known is the patella on the leg, the kneecap, and that's our big go-to to find the center of the leg. Now the lower leg is shorter than the upper leg, but we can find that patella to give us a size idea of how to parse this out. And if we go to the bottom of the patella and then up to the pubic bone, then we have a halfway mark that will take us down to the bottom of the foot. Now that's just a general ballpark idea, and we'll have lots of those. But for now, we basically understand that the lower leg is shorter than the upper leg, and then we add the foot to it. And then once we've got that, we can put all these muscles on top, and you can see the importance of the patella in all this movement. The patella has all the quadriceps attached to it, and so it's a floating bone. It's actually in front of the tibia and the femur. You saw me use the chamois there, and the chamois is my little leather cloth that you wash your car with. I've washed it and dried it and got all the oil out of it, and it just ghosts the image back lovely for me. Now what I want to think about with these bones is how curved the tibia is on the inside. I'll use the Latin terms during this as we go, but we'll keep it simple for now. We all know the generic name for knees. Kneecap is one, for instance. But the inside of the knee is going to give us more of a curve than the outside. And we're going to see that not so much on the bones, but on the muscles that attach to these bones. So drawing these bones first is giving me a playground to actually attach these muscles to. We're going to add the muscle on top. But for now, I would advise to draw these bones over and over. And you can see the socket of the bone goes into the hip up at the top. And we have now a nice little skeletal map of where we're going to attach things and how we're going to understand this better. So take your time on everything, understand the bones well, and don't worry about plateau. Plateau is the moment when you've learned everything and you start to practice it until you know it better, and you might feel that you want to get into the next thing because you really feel you've done this now. But do it over and over until it no longer is a task at all, until you can draw without reference, like I'm doing here. And that's the plateau stage. And when you've really truly understood your drawing, your legs, for instance, the bones, then move on to the next thing. You can go ahead and come back, but generally learn something thoroughly is a better idea than rushing forward. So I'm using, at that point, a little mono eraser to cut out some highlights. So I don't mind being a little messy on these drawings. I actually use the mess as a mid-tone and use my fingers to smudge around. And just reinstating what's important to me here with a darker line on those bones, on those hard edges. Now I've just indicated the most important thing for me in the rhythm of the leg, and that's the sartorius muscle where it attaches underneath the tibia. And we'll look at that muscle many times. And that is also a bundle of tendons in there from other muscles. But I want the rhythm here. What is the rhythm of the outside of this quite rigid set of bones? And we have a rhythm of heights and lows. And for instance, the gastrocnemius, which is the calf muscle, is high on the outside and low on the inside. And we'll feel that mass of muscle tumbled on the body like that, high and low from the outside on the upper leg as well. There's a high, then there's a low down by the knees. And so if we have both the structure and the solidity of the muscles in mind, then we can put the rhythm on top, which is the gesture. And gesture is hard to describe, but basically it's the flow of everything. And we need to step back from our art to see the flow. Just looking at my photographic double over here, it's all really a big mass of information, and it's hard to